Breath, tango, steak, glaciers, Andes. Argentina isn't just a country, it's basically 5 countries stitched together. Today we're covering the top 10 things you absolutely cannot miss. Top 10 best things to do in Argentina, let's go. New here? Welcome to Vetted Routes. Hit subscribe. Number 10. Explore Buenos Aires neighborhoods. Buenos Aires is one of the great walking cities of South America, and every neighborhood feels like a different city entirely. San Telmo has cobblestone streets, antique markets, and tango dancers performing outdoors on Sundays. Recoleta has Parisian-style architecture and the famous cemetery where Eva Perón is buried, an extraordinary maze of ornate mausoleums that ranks among the most beautiful cemeteries on Earth. Palermo is leafy, modern, full of parks, boutiques, and some of the best restaurants in the city. Spend at least 3 full days just walking these neighborhoods. Buenos Aires rewards slow exploration more than almost any city in South America. Number 9. Watch a tango show in San Telmo. Tango was born in the working-class neighborhoods of Buenos Aires in the late 1800s, and nowhere is it more alive today than in San Telmo. Skip the touristy dinner shows and find a milonga, a genuine local tango dance hall where regular porteños come to dance, not perform. Watching couples who have been dancing together for decades move across the floor with complete precision and passion is a completely different experience from a staged show. Some milongas offer beginner lessons before the night gets going. Even if you never step onto the floor yourself, sitting at the edge of a real milonga with a glass of Malbec, watching Buenos Aires dance, is one of the most authentic cultural experiences in South America. Number 8. Eat steak at a traditional parrilla. Argentina takes beef more seriously than almost any country on Earth, and eating at a traditional parrilla, an Argentine steakhouse built around a wood or charcoal grill, is essential. The cuts here are different from what most visitors expect. Bife de chorizo, entraña, and asado de tira are all classics worth trying. The beef quality comes from Argentina's vast grass-fed cattle ranches on the Pampas, and the flavor difference compared to grain-fed beef elsewhere is immediately noticeable. Order a bottle of Malbec from Mendoza to go with it. The pairing is practically a national institution. Number 7. Visit the wine region of Mendoza. Mendoza sits at the base of the Andes and produces some of the finest Malbec in the world, grown at high altitude in vineyards with the mountains rising dramatically behind them. Wine tours here range from casual bike-between wineries afternoons to full-day guided experiences with lunch paired at each stop. The Uco Valley, south of Mendoza City, has some of the newest and most architecturally striking wineries in Argentina, many designed by internationally renowned architects specifically to frame the mountain views. Beyond wine, Mendoza is also the gateway to Aconcagua, the highest peak in the Western Hemisphere, visible on clear days from the vineyards themselves. Spend at least 2 full days here, one for wine, one for the mountains. Number 6. See Iguazu Falls. Iguazu Falls sits on the border between Argentina and Brazil and is one of the most overwhelming natural spectacles on the planet. The Argentine side gives you the closer, more immersive experience. Walkways bring you directly above and alongside the Cascades, including the Devil's Throat, a horseshoe-shaped chasm where the majority of the water thunders down in a wall of spray and noise that you feel in your chest before you even see it. The surrounding subtropical rainforest is home to toucans, coatis, and howler monkeys, adding a layer of jungle wilderness to the visit. Wear a poncho or expect to get soaked. The spray reaches the walkways constantly. Give yourself a full day here. This is not a quick photo stop. It's an entire sensory experience. Number 5. Explore Patagonia and El Chalten. Patagonia is where Argentina becomes truly wild. El Chalten, a small trekking town in the south, sits beneath Mount Fitzroy, one of the most dramatic and technically difficult mountains in the world to climb, and one of the most rewarding to simply hike toward. The trail to Laguna de los Tres delivers a direct view of Fitzroy's jagged granite spires reflected in a glacial lake, widely considered one of the best day hikes on the entire continent. The weather here changes constantly, so pack layers regardless of season. El Chalten itself has grown into a genuinely charming trekking hub, with excellent bakeries and craft breweries catering to hikers coming off the trail. This is Argentina at its rawest and most spectacular. Number 4. Walk on the Perito Moreno Glacier. Near El Calafate in southern Patagonia, sits one of the few advancing glaciers left on Earth, and one of the most accessible. Perito Moreno stretches 19 miles long with a face rising 60 meters above the water, and massive chunks regularly calve off into Lago Argentino with a crack and roar that stops every conversation on the viewing platforms. Beyond viewing it from the boardwalks, guided ice trekking tours let you strap on crampons and walk directly across the glacier's surface, exploring crevasses, ice caves, and pools of impossibly blue meltwater. Many tours end with a whiskey served over glacier ice chipped right there on the spot. This is one of the most accessible and most dramatic glacier experiences anywhere on the planet. Number 3. Experience Ushuaia, the end of the world. Ushuaia sits at the southern tip of Argentina on the Beagle Channel and markets itself accurately as the end of the world, the southernmost city on Earth. Surrounded by the jagged peaks of Tierra del Fuego and the cold waters of the Drake Passage beyond, Ushuaia has a frontier atmosphere unlike anywhere else in Argentina. Boat trips through the Beagle Channel past sea lion colonies, cormorant rookeries, and a lighthouse often mistakenly called the lighthouse at the end of the world. For the truly adventurous, Ushuaia is also the main departure point for expedition cruises to Antarctica. Just a 2-day sail across the Drake Passage. Even without continuing south, standing at this literal edge of the inhabited world is an experience that stays with you. Number 2. Explore the Lake District around Bariloche. Bariloche sits on the shores of Nahuel Huapi Lake, surrounded by snow-capped Andean peaks in a landscape so alpine that Swiss and German immigrants settled here specifically because it reminded them of home. The Circuito Chico, a scenic drive and cycling route around the lake, delivers postcard views at nearly every turn. In winter, Cerro Cathedral offers the best skiing in South America. In summer, hiking trails through the surrounding national park lead to refugios, mountain huts where trekkers can stay overnight deep in the Andes. Bariloche is also famous for chocolate, a legacy of its European settlers, and walking the town sampling chocolate from multiple small producers is a genuinely delightful way to spend an afternoon. Number 1. Drive the Ruta 40 through Patagonia. Ruta 40 is one of the great road trip routes on Earth, stretching over 3,000 miles along the spine of Argentina from the Bolivian border to Tierra del Fuego. The Patagonian stretch of this route, connecting El Calafate, El Chalten, and Bariloche, passes through some of the most empty, dramatic, and hypnotic landscape anywhere on the planet. Vast steppe stretches to the horizon in every direction, interrupted only by grazing guanacos, the occasional gas station, and mountains appearing like mirages in the distance. There is a particular kind of silence out here. No phone signal, no crowds, just wind and scale. Rent a car, fill the tank whenever you can because stations are far apart, and give yourself time to simply pull over and stand in the middle of that landscape. This is Argentina, distilled into a single road, vast, wild, and unforgettable. Breath, Argentina, tango, steak, glaciers, and the end of the world. Drop a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Let's go!